Welcome to our channel. Before we dive into yet another fascinating mythy, we'd like to invite you to watch, to like, and subscribe to the channel. Also activate the notification soundlets. Learn a booth, most powerful philosophy for a meaningful life, and the lessons from Marcus Aurelius. Marcus Aurelius Roman emperor, philosopher, man with absolute power, but he chose virtue not because he had to, not because anyone was watching, but because he believed it was right. Hat is rare, that is extraordinary. Think about it, Imogen. Having everything, anything you could ever want, no limits, no consequences, no one to say no. Hat, would you do? Most people would take advantage. Menerdes. Marcus Aurelius didn't. Refused indulgencia, refused corruption. He refused to give in because he followed a philosophy, a way of life. Stoicism, it's not just a theory, it's a way of benga disciplinia, commitment, belief that virtue is the only true good. Thought, pleasure and pain don't matter. That power and status are mean. The only thing that counts is how you actuate. You choose how you respond. Lived by this every single day. 19 years as emperor, ruled the most powerful empire on earth. But he ruled himself first, was not afraid of not afraid of loss, not afraid of death. He feared only one thing, failing to be good, failing to live by his own principles. That is what made him great, not his title, not his power, not his influence, but his choices. Restrainthus, disciplinahist, virtue. Marcus Aurelius, a man who lived in accordance with nature, not in the way you might think, not trees, not rivers, not mountains, nature, as in the way things airy real. Atitha accepted life as it was, not as he wished it to be. Didn't complain, did whine, didn't resist what he couldn't control. Instead, he focused on one thing, his own minders, own actions, own choice. Is Stoicism, understanding that life is unpredictable, pain is inevitable, that suffering is a choice. Don't control events, but you control your response. Don't control other people, but you control yourself. Most people let life dictate their emotions. React, get angry, get anxious, get bitter. Marcus refused, trained himself to remain calm, to remain rational, to remain in control. No matter what, not because it was easy, but because it was necessary. Best the alternative was weakness, cast destruction. So he mastered himself, and in doing so, he mastered life. Marcus Aurelius had an massive ruler, those people who wanted to betray him, people who lied to him, people who schemed against him, but he never let hatred consume him, never let resentment control him. Understood something simple: people do what they do out of ignorance, act out of fear, out of weakness, out of selfishness. Didn't take it personally, didn't waste time being angry. Stayed focused on one thing, his own character, his own virtue. If someone wronged him, that was their burden. At Hish would not sink to their level, would not let them dictate his actions, would not give them power over his mind. Instead, he practiced forgiveness, not because they deserved it, but because it kept him free from hate, from anger, free from the poison of resentment. Wrote, when you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, today I will meet people who are ungrateful, are deceitful, are arrogant, are selfish, but I will not let them affect me because I understand them, because I control myself. Imagine living like that. Imagine the strength that Tekesto see through Pia Pleto. Understand them to not let them shake you. Most people are prisoners of their emotions. Let others dictate their moods. Let insults get under their skin. Let small things ruin their peace. Aurelius didn't stay unmoved, not because he didn't feel, but because he refused to be ruled by feelingness. Mind was his fortress, and nothing could breach it. Marcus Aurelius faced hardship. Wapliglius Traiania empire was constantly under threat. His people suffered, but he never complained. Nova asked, why me? He accepted it, because life is struggle. Bess, pain is part of existence. Becker's wishing for an easy life is foolish. Wrote, you don't get to choose your circumstance, you only get to choose how you meet them. And he met them with courage, with dignity. Most people break under pressure, blame others, collapse, seek escape, but Marcus stood firm because he understood a secret adversity is not suffering. Adversity is training, a chance to grow, a chance to prove yourself, a chance to become who you are meant to be. Nothing is bad or good, only Your perception makes it so you deciduo, control how you see things, you control what they mean. To you so, why choose weakness? Why choose despair? Why not choose strength? Marcus chose strength, chose to see every difficulty as a lesson, every loss as an opportunity, every challenge as a test, and he refused to note, because it was easy, but because it was the only way to live. Marcus Aurelius knew death was coming for him, for everyone he loved, for everyone. Eventually didn't fear it, didn't run from it, didn't pretend it wouldn't happen. Instead, he faced it, reminded himself daily, I will die, maybe soon, may blood, but I will die. Not to be morbid, not to be depressed, but to be our Cato, be presento, live fully while he could. Most people ignore death, distract themselves, they pretend they have to moan. Because of this, they waste their livesty, waste time on trivial things and arguments and worrisome, chasing things that don't matter. Marcus didn't ask himself, if I were to die today, would I be satisfied? If the answer was no, he adjusted, didn't chase wealth, didn't chase pleasure, didn't chase approval, lived with purpose, with clarity, with agency. Base every moment, matterade base, nothing was guaranteed. Base death is not the any. Poorly is living without meaning, is living in fear. Is Marcus chose to live well so that when death came, he could meet it without regret, without fear, without wishing for more time, because he had already used his time wisely. Marcus Aurelius lived with power, but power did not own image, had wealth, but wealth did not define image, had influence, but influence did not corrupt him. What defined him was his menders disciplina, his virtue, and now, centuries later, his empire is dust. Wealth is gone, his name is just history, but his words remain, his thoughts remain, his wisdom remains. Best truth does not die, his virtue does not fade, as the way he lived, his discipline, his resilience, his unwavering character stands as proof that power doesn't make a man great, wealth doesn't make a man great, status doesn't make a man great. Only character, docent character, is built in struggle and hardship, in the quiet choices. No one sees. Marcus Aurelius had no audience for his thoughts, no one was meant to read meditation, wrote for himself, though remind himself of what matters, though keep himself on the right path, was writing to himself. He was also writing to you, Mito, anyone searching for something deeper, something real, something unshakable. So now, the question is, what will you do? Will you live with fear, with anger, with resentment, or will you live with strength, with clarity, with purpose? Every moment is a choice, every day is a test, every struggle is a lesson. Marcus Aurelius faced them all, and he never faltered. No, it's your turn, your test, your life. Choose wealth, use no applause, waiting for your no audience to cheer for your reward for choosing virtue, and yet you must choose it not for recognition, not for praise, but because it is right, because it is the only way to live with purpose. The world will push you, it will tempt you, it will test you, it will throw pain, loss, and hardship your way. People will disappoint you, circumstances will frustrate your life, will challenge you at every turn. You have one task on responsibility, reign unmoved, note emotionless, not indifferent, but unshaken. Centuris branxits, your peace cannot come from outside and from others, not from things, not from comfort. It must come from within, it must come from your own disciplinia, own choice, easier, own understanding. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, but his greatest victory was ruling himself. This is your impura, mindia, soul, your actions, master. The monde, nothing, no pain, no loss, no challenge can ever break you, because the only thing that matters, only thing you truly honest, who you choose to be,